I'm Matt Fox, here with Uprise Conservation, and today we're in one of my favorite ecosystems on the face of the planet. It's a riparian forest. These majestic forests are fueled by the energy of the river. They are flooded several times a year, and all of those nutrients flooding in here are what give it this incredibly lush appearance. Today we're going to look at this ecosystem, and we're going to take a deep dive into some of the organisms that thrive here and nowhere else on Earth. So here we are at the Meramec River, which is one of the most beautiful rivers, I think, in this entire part of the world. It's usually very slow and shallow and serene, but in springtime, when the rains come, you can get these immense flooding events. And these flooding events are what shape these forests. It rises out, fills this entire forest, filling it with nutrients coming straight from the soil, which it's gathered along its long journey to get here. I kind of don't like that shot. It's not very interesting.
It's a bush. Yeah.
But it is a black willow, and black willows are fascinating. Salix nigra. This guy actually thrives because of the floods. Just like bamboo, if even the smallest branch is ripped off, it can be deposited anywhere, and an entire new bush can grow. Fascinating species.
What, does this grow best in a flooding scenario?
Oh my God.
It's just near water, or what is the deal?
It grows best in a flooding scenario. In fact, it depends on it. That's how it spreads its seed. That's how it spreads itself most effectively.
Is this a native species?
That's a native species.
One eternity later.
It can hold our rivers and hold our creeks in position. Giant flooding events like this have the capacity to just destroy a creek, destroy its banks and change its route.
You want to get rid of this shot?
All right, we're keeping this shot. Think about the places where human beings started. Fertile Crescent, the Han River Valley, the beautiful Nile River. These are places where humans gathered and they started growing crops because they had the most nutrients, just like this forest. Absolutely beautiful Eastern tiger salamander. Look at that coloration, that modeling. In science, we call that cryptic coloration, which is anytime an organism is trying to blend in with its environment. That's camouflage in its most natural sense. Now look at how big this guy is with a wide head. They call him a tiger salamander, not just because of his modeling coloration, but also because these guys are some of the most aggressive of all salamanders. That wide head, there's almost nothing he can't eat in the underbrush. Now, like all salamanders, his recipe for success is to remain invisible. And as you look at that cryptic coloration, you can tell how difficult this organism would be to spot laying in his natural environment. You can tell why they're called tiger salamanders. Look at how voracious they are. Combing the undergrowth, going through the leaf litter, eating absolutely anything that fits in their mouth. Now, tiger salamanders, like many amphibians, have incredibly slow metabolisms. So after eating this worm, this salamander is going to be able to take a nice long rest. Look at the size of this Eastern Cottonwood, Populus deltoides, scientific name. Cottonwoods are the absolute masters of the riparian ecosystem. These things, despite their massive size, can attain this really quickly for a tree. This guy might even only be like 80 years old, you can believe that. A similar sized pine would take hundreds of years. That's because these guys are called R-class species, R like rat. It means they have lots of babies, grow really fast, but unfortunately have super short lifespans. If you look around this park, you will see massive fallen trees all over the place. It's because these guys reach their enormous size, spread as many seeds as they can, and then die quickly. It's out competing and dominating its competitors. What do you got? Ah, this is a seed pod. and it comes from a black locust, Robinia pseudoacacia is the scientific name. It's actually part of the legume family, which means that this is a pea. And that means they fix nitrogen into the soil due to sympathetic colonies on their root nodules. That nitrogen is actually what a lot of farmers put on their fields. So they're fertilizing the forest exactly like a farmer is fertilizing his crops. Hard as a rock though, don't eat it. Hold on, I'm gonna see if anybody's home. These are tadpoles for chorus frogs. One of the many, many wonderful frogs we have here in spring that sing in the trees. These are tree frog tadpoles. And even though they live the rest of their life in trees, these guys are born in a tiny pond, just like this, just like many other amphibians. This is called an ephemeral pool, and they are super, super important. And if you guys watch any of my other stuff, you guys know how much I love these things. They are oases of life in the forest, where so many species get their start, and so many species wouldn't even exist if they weren't in the forest. Without ephemeral pools, these guys are kind of defenseless. Just like everything else with salamanders, they do best, and amphibians, they do best by hiding, by staying out of sight, and by not occupying the same niche as something else. So by hiding in these ephemeral pools, where fish would die if they lived here year-round, they get a chance at life, they get a chance at survival. Guys, come check this out. We have ourselves a very interesting organism that I don't think I've even found around here yet. She is an absolute beauty. Look at her. Look at her little hands in the light. In Japan, they love them, and they say the cutest part about a salamander is its hands. And I absolutely, absolutely agree. This one is a female, and she hasn't laid her eggs yet, which explains why she made her way to this ephemeral pool. Now, this organism shouldn't be found here, which we find kind of alarming. It shows that their range map is moving further north, which makes perfect sense. I mean, temperatures are changing, climate is wild, and these organisms are always going to try and find a habitat that suits them best. And we are so, so happy that St. Louis is now part of that habitat. If you're going to hold a salamander, you have to always make sure that your hands are as clean as possible. But not as clean as possible like we think, as clean as possible like they think. These guys breathe through their skin, they absorb a lot of nutrients and materials through their skin, and so it is very, very porous. If you have anything like a moisturizer or something on you, it could really hurt them. So the first thing you want to do, dip your hands in the mud, shake them around, get them as dirty as you possibly can. Give that protective coating and make sure your hands are free of oils and anything else foreign that might hurt this little guy. I need to let her go and make sure that the circle of life continues, make sure she has a next generation. All right, she is so happy to be free. Look at her go, right into the swamp. God, she's invisible when she wants to be. 1 second she's there, the next she's gone. There could be dozens more in this pool right now. Look at the power of this river. To be able to pluck these trees, dozens of feet of roots straight into the soil, pulled out with its awesome power. Ecosystems are complicated, so many factors interacting at any one time. The same might that destroyed these trees is what deposited the nutrients which allowed them to grow in the first place. The more we learn about an ecosystem, the more we learn how to appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for coming with and learning about this riparian system with me. I'm Matt Fox with Uprise Conservation. Stay curious, and I'll see you on the next one.